Today's presentation is going to be about fixing or repairing or reprogram CAS4 or CAS3. Actually today we're gonna get the CAS4 with the new device, and this device is secure. To open this device we have to approach a little bit different way. When we open the module, this processor is basically covered and the whole board is covered by lacquer. Do not damage the processor. We want to make it clean and easy way to remove this processor from the board. Do not bend any pins or break the pins. What we're gonna do right now, we're gonna put special chemicals what is gonna allow us to remove the clear coat from the board and make it very easy to remove the processor from the board. Lots of people may afraid to remove this processor because this is 144 pin processor, and the legs looks very tiny. Like for not experienced technician, this may look very challenging. But we're gonna show how easy we're gonna do this during our repairing, remove this processor from the board. We got lacquer, actually paint remover, or we can use it some other brand, but this is one of the best. We basically experienced this on the many boards, and this is removing our varnish or clear coat from the processor. We have to apply by some brush this chemical on the board. This is harmful for processor, but it's basically react with the chemicals covered by processor. We have to nice and even spread the chemicals. Leave it for a few minutes, and if you're gonna observe, you're gonna see those chemicals, they start working, and the clear coat on top of the processor start bubbling. To speed up process, we can raise the temperature a little bit above the room temperature, and this is going to speed up our process. We got basically heat gun or any air removing device, and this is, as soon as we apply certain temperature, this is speed up our process. You can see like the clear coat start peeling off the board, and the board will become very clear. We're just doing around the area. Now we see this is almost done. What we can do next, we can wash the board, but we don't want to stress too much solder or the board. We make sure the temperature is proper for this applying the acetone or some other solvent what is going to clear our clear coat from the board. Like we see, this chemicals is react very fast with the clear coat and basically discover our processor is clean, and we can repeat this process few times. From our experience, we apply the chemicals for removing the varnish, and we leave it for a few minutes. This helps, and when we come back in 10-15 minutes, this varnish would be completely removed from the board. We can apply again and leave it for a few minutes. Meantime, I wanna tell you something about this processor. This processor is a new device, and this device it's come locked in on the for programming or reading. this is the reason why we have to remove this device from the board. There is not possible reading this device on the board. You can find some tools on the internet, but those tools, they're not reliable and they can damage this processor permanently and will cost you lots of money. Beside the money is the problem, you have to wait for new CAS to when arrive to program in the vehicle, and vehicle will be disabled for a few days. We can apply again heat and see if this is dissolved nicely. Yes, and like you can see, rest of the chemicals is reacting with those pins, and those pins are become very clear on the board. And the board is basically not more than 50-60 degrees. This is regular temperature what this board can reach in the vehicle with normal operation in summertime. Looks very clean. We can try attempt to remove this processor from the board. In this case, we have to use some flux, and this flux would help to remove the pin or unsolder the processor from the board. Very easy way, and we have to be gently to not overheat the board, or be careful for components around the processor. Those components in certain temperature may fly, and you have to, I would suggest you to make the picture before you removing the processor. This way you can find those components around and solder them back. For removing this processor, we're gonna use again heat gun or a hot air station, what allows us to raise the temperature to the melting temperature of the solder, but we have to be very gently. We have to apply the heat around the board, and also be careful because this varnish, what is inside, what was outside, is sometimes under the device, and it's gluing the device to the board. Very important information. When you're gonna remove the processor from the board and you don't know where is the pin 1, you have to mark it. The pin 1 is gonna be indicated by smaller dot. This device has got on the 4 corners dots, and the smaller dots is indicates the pin number 1. And we can basically mark it out this on the board. In future, people who they got more experience with this device, they don't have to basically mark this position, because they can basically find the position of this processor by looking to few key elements what this device need to operate. Like we see, this device is removed, and we can let the board cool down. None of the elements basically we remove from the board, then we don't have to worry in the soldering back. Those elements, they wouldn't stay in the position. We can same time we can clean the board using solder wick. We have to look at for the solder wick. We got some place here. We can apply the flux for the soldering, and this would make easier for us to remove the old solder from the board. We have to clean this board and prepare for soldering this processor back. Set up our soldering iron. If our processor is not cleaned properly, we can get small container or even a cup, apply the chemicals what was removing the varnish from the board, and clean this processor completely. Or we can also leave it flat on the piece of paper or towel and let this chemical work for us. Meantime, we can clean the board and prepare for soldering. This process is not easiest process on the way, but you don't have to be scared. You can see the board is cleaning nicely with the solder wick. You have to be gently. Do not try to clean in one time. With couple devices, you're gonna be a pro removing those devices from the board. We can put more paint thinner on the board, and we see how it starts bubbling, because the board is a little bit, temperature of the board is a little bit higher than normal room temperature, and we see how this is working. In a few minutes we're gonna be ready to put this processor on the programming board. This board is equipped with the BDM connector, but we cannot use, like we say, this processor is in the lock mode, and there is no way we can read it from outside. Do not manipulate clock or some other parameters of those processor. And using some some tools, what they claiming they can read this on the board, you can very easily damage the processor or lost all data from the processor, and this is not recoverable anymore. We're just gonna see if we can right now. After a few seconds, we're gonna try clean this processor more. Like we see those chemicals, they goes very good on those lacquers, and basically we got very clean edge of the processor for soldering back. This chemical works very good. You have to take the time. This is not basically stuff what you can do it in few seconds, but when you're patient, this is gonna pay back in effects. If you need more, you can apply more. You can leave it for a few minutes to dry. Meantime, I want to show you those programming boards. Those are programming boards what they come with the programmer, and they not assembly. The board is basically with no pins, with no resistors, but those components are supplied in the package, and you have to assemble yourself. You have to choose proper adapter. Those adapters, they look almost identical, but they're not the same. We got device MC9S12XEP, and this device it has to be sit in proper adapter. You have to orient it processor. There is a pin number 1 is marked, and like we were saying before, this processor is got on each corner is got dot, but the smaller dot is indicate pin number 1. I can show you closer. This is the pin number 1. Then we oriented this processor in proper position on the board. Actually, this is not the board for this device. This is the board for this device. I can show you. There is a name of this device and a name of an adapter, and we're gonna use this adapter. We're gonna solder. We have to put it proper way device, and we're gonna solder. The best thing to set up this processor on the programming board is microscope. Can be also some inspection camera with magnification up to 60, 70, maybe around 40. Depends how the person wanna see this. What we gonna set up? I'm using the goggles on my head, and those goggles they wanna show me. We put it in one place and we tack it processor to the board in 2 places or 3 places, and we verified if this processor is oriented properly and all the pins align in this device. We're looking closely. We got pretty good. This connection is very important. All those pins, they have to be soldered proper way to the board. There is always, if you look at, there is always piece of solder what is stuck to the board and those pins, and you have to nicely and clean solder this to the board. This process takes few minutes. We're just gonna show you ready board. We got ready board with soldered device, because it would take too much. This presentation will take few more minutes, but we want to just short the time. This is basically device what is already soldered, ready for reading or programming. And now we're gonna show how we're gonna do this. We're gonna remove all the chemicals from the table, and we can start programmer and see if this device will be able to this programmer open and read it. We got programmer. This programmer is again pin number 1 has to be on pin number 1. We can put the programming board right on the processor, right on the programmer, and start program. We're opening our programmer. Connect programmer to the computer, and we select the target. Our target in this case is the XEP100 with the mask 5M48H. We select. We see all the components of the memory, like D flash, EEPROM, and flash. And for programming, we're gonna decide what we want to do. Right now, we disable the programming. We're gonna read this processor. And in this moment, we're basically ready for reading this processor. And we press start. And now we see the whole programmer is trying to find the proper security byte and enter the proper mode in this processor. It takes this programmer is very fast, and like you see, will took a few seconds, open the processor and connect it. This is the only way and safe way to enter this processor without damage software or damage processor. In case if we damage this processor or damage the software, we cannot recover, and there will be total lost. We have to get ordering another CAS or some other equipment what can allow us to program key in the vehicle. We have to wait few minutes. This is start reading all the blocks. Backup memory it's turned on, then automatically this programmer will do the backup automatically. What we don't have to worry, we're going to lose the software. Now when we look for the software, there is EEPROM, what is empty, P-flash, we got some software, and D-flash. Those this file we can save it. It's again we recommended as Motorola or ETL extended format. This format allows us to edit this file on some other programs and find out some other useful information. And we put CAS4, and we can add some VIN number of the vehicle or some details what is gonna recognize. When we save it, now we can modify the contents of this processor, and we can program back. Like in this case, we're not gonna modify this, because this was only the purpose to show how this is gonna be done. But we can basically, we got same data on the buffer, and we can program this data. Programming this data from the buffer is required. Again, we have to select the target, and our target should be same like we did in this processor. All three positions should be programmed. Now we can program this device, and like we see, programmer is very fast and very reliable. We did many of those devices, and we never get the problem. Even if any problem occurs, engineering team will probably adjust the algorithm or try to solve the problem. This is only the tool what has got full support, and to this tool there's going to be added more devices what is currently in the testing stage. We use this device in automotive repairs, and it's very handy and it's very user-friendly device. Like we see, it's going to take few seconds what we program, and we see on the icons this processor is still in lock position. Then when the programming there is couple options. There is in this tool there is a unique feature I want to show you in a few seconds. You can do massive arrays, but again you have to be very careful. This features is like bulk arrays is for experienced technician, and we don't recommend it to use for people who they don't get too much experience with those devices. It's got full partition where they can repair the FRM module or allocate the proper position EEPROM in the D-flash, and like I say, automatic backup. Also, there is some options on this programming mode. We're gonna show in the future what's those. What I want to say about this programming, when programming is done, this board is still under the voltage, and this diode indicates there is a 5 volt. Before we removing this board from the programming device, we have to press this button and basically disconnect the voltage. Then we can the diode is shut off. That means there is no 5 volt, and we can gently remove the board from programmer. Now what we have to do is the same way. We have to heat it up, remove the processor, make sure all the legs are free, they're not connected, and we have to program back, solder back on the board. This board has to be clean. We already applied some chemicals, and we're gonna see if this helps. But like I say, this paint remover is one of the best what we experienced for so many years, and this will help us to clean this board to almost like new. If the board is not clean, we can apply again those paint remover and leave it for some time until those chemicals they start reacting with the clear coat and remove, and it's gonna be easy to remove. We don't force, we don't scrape this lacquer from the board, because those traces what we're gonna solder processor back has to be clean and has to be very gently operated process.